Is Phillip Rivers done? He says he wants to play. What team would sign him?
Yeah,
he's 37 years old. I think he's done. 22 touchdowns,
well,
like
he
21
wants
interceptions.
to play.
That's great.
Are the Chargers going to bring him back? Like
No.
maybe you go this route if you're LA, right? Easton Stick's not your long-term guy. You can do whatever you want with him. Make him into Taysom Hill like you should be doing. Maybe you draft a quarterback in round 1, bring Phillip back on a 1-year deal.
Okay.
Is that an option? But also, does Rivers want to be a mentor to somebody?
I don't think so.
I don't know if he wants to. And then you look at teams that need a quarterback. Is the Chargers do anything for you? I don't really think so. Tennessee and the Panthers are closer to his family, but you don't just roll with Tannehill and Newton again. So I don't know about Rivers. That's going to be a very interesting process for the Chargers and for Phillip Rivers. Someone would sign him, but I don't know if he's going to be a starter next year.
Let's go to our next guy, Rodney Cuba. Get a picture. When are they going to fire Jason Garrett?
I was told it's not a firing, therefore we can't say fire anymore.
FG's in the comments.
His contract expires in January 14th, 15th? 14th. So technically, I mean, it's not a firing.
Will he be fired before the 14th?
It's a dismissing. Yeah, like, they will announce their plans. Like, there's no benefit for the Cowboys going, okay, we're just going to we're gonna give a Jason Garrett firing tour. Oh, sorry. Leaving tour. Sorry. I think they'll make a decision. Maybe it's today. Maybe it's tomorrow. But I think in the next 24 hours or so, 48 hours, you have an official decision, and that's done.
Let's go now to Chris Ayers. What up, my man? Are Nagy and Pace going to be shown the door? I'm going to say no with Nagy.
I think no. I wouldn't mind Ryan Pace being shown the door, but you're in an awkward situation because I don't think you should fire Matt Nagy yet. I don't think that's a good decision. I'm down with firing Ryan Pace, but then you kind of get into this bad situation. We've seen other teams of you keep your head coach, you fire the GM. Then you fire the head coach, keep the GM, and the cycle repeats itself. And then that's not a good path there. So maybe you just decide, you know what, we're going to let Pace and Matt figure it out together. Maybe a decision is made after that.
Let's go to the next question from Yoel Hoffmann. Could the Niners see Quan return in the postseason? The answer is no, Tom. He's got a torn pec.
He suffered that torn pec back in week 9. I'd be surprised. I don't think he comes back.
It's very unlikely.
I know he's trying to, but
unlikely.
I'd be pretty surprised if he came back. Maybe for like the Super Bowl he could get back out there, but torn pecs normally aren't recovered in that amount of time. So if you want the updates on Quan Alexander, guys, go subscribe to our 49ers channel, youtube.com/49erstv.
Let's go to a great picture. Buffed up. Should the Lions draft a quarterback at 3 with Stafford's bad back?
No, with the way
Question,
that Stafford's contract is structured, you're more or less stuck with him.
Okay.
You could try and get out of it, but this is the last year of the league year, so you can't do the post-June 1st cut unless they get a new CBA, so you can't space that money out. I am concerned about Stafford's back a little bit there, but you're not going to get Joe Burrow. If I'm Detroit and knowing what this front office is in and the head coaching staff of a win right now, you need assets. If I were Detroit, I would strongly consider trading down from number 3.
Okay.
Maybe a team wants to go up and get a particular defensive or offensive guy, or a team wants Tua or Herbert. Trade down, add assets. You're going to get an impact defensive player. If you stand pat, maybe Jeffrey Okudah makes a lot of sense for you.
Let's go to our watcher from Canada, Leafs fan, YT. What up, my man? Where do the Titans go from here? What do they do about to release Mariota? So,
Look,
what do they do at quarterback about to release Mariota?
Yeah, well, Mariota's contract is up, so they're just not going to bring him back, and maybe he goes to Chicago. I think the Bears are a great fit for him with his college OC currently there. You probably re-sign Ryan Tannehill, and I would actually just franchise tag him.
Okay.
And because I know Tannehill's been great for these couple of games, and I've been very impressed by it. Prove it for a year though. Like that's the one where I'm like, yeah, let's do the franchise tag. Unless he wants to take maybe a little bit less, but I don't have complete faith in throwing a bunch of money at Ryan Tannehill.
I like this next question, and we want everyone to interact on this one. This one's from Brandonthebuck. So, Super Bowl predictions, all right? So, get your Super Bowl predictions in. Who do you think is going to be playing in the Super Bowl from the NFC, from the AFC?
I'm sticking by yours?
I'm going to stick with mine. I've had it the entire year. Saints, Patriots. I bet over $60 on BetDSI that the Saints would win earlier in the year. If that happens, drinks on me here at Chat Sports. So, who will win the Super Bowl? We want you guys to throw it in the comments section. And if you want to go bet on the team that you think will win the Super Bowl, you can see the link below. It's chatsports.com/bet. But remember to use that promo code NFL120 at BetDSI.
You know what's a pretty popular one in there? Ravens 49ers.
Go figure.
Understandably, top 2 seeds. Makes sense, right?
Ravens, Saints.
Yeah.
Malcolm Lloyd says the Seahawks.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm hoping the Saints do win it. That'd put a lot of extra money in my pocket. So let us know who you think is going to win the Super Bowl. We got the 49ers over the Ravens over the Saints, 49ers, Patriots for Mr. Sports Fan, Saints versus Chiefs.
I'm waiting for someone to put in an AFC matchup.
I know.
Or NFC. It'd be funny.
A lot of 49ers, Saints. I would say the popular answers are Ravens, Saints, and 49ers, which not too surprised by
right there.
Drew Brees deserves it. And so who's going to win the Super Bowl? I said before, go to chatsports.com/bet. Put a little bit more on screen so you guys can see because I don't know about you. My eyes don't work as well as they used to. Promo code NFL120, 120% deposit bonus. I got 20/20 vision, Tom.
Okay,
20/20 vision.
Because you just said your eyes don't work as well as
they work amazing, especially when I need them to. So 20/20 vision, BetDSI, chatsports.com/bet. NFL games, go bet on the playoffs as well. If you're confident in your team making it to the Super Bowl, BetDSI is the place for you. Get that 120% deposit bonus. Let's go to Juancho Gomez.
Okay. Let's start on the second one there, which was interesting.
Get a picture. Chase Young going to the Redskins at 2.
I'd say like
so.
90% chance right now, and it'll probably, of course, end up being 100. Frankly, I think this year's draft begins at number 3 overall. The Bengals are going to take Joe Burrow. I think the Redskins will take Chase Young. Maybe Washington will explore some trades more so than the Bengals will, but they'll, of course, listen to any calls they get. But I think in reality it's Burrow, Young, everything else after that. Lions, Giants, it gets a little bit interesting and dicey there.
John Henley goes, watch it be Titans and Vikings.
That'd be pretty fun.
Ryan Tannehill, Kirk Cousins. Who says no? Let's go to Rohan Sharma. Seahawks or Eagles, wild card, who wins? All right, Rohan.
Yeah.
I like this question.
That's a good one.
So we'll ask everyone who's watching right now, who you got? Seahawks at 11-5, type S if you're going to go with them, or you're going to go with the Eagles at 9-7, type E. We want you guys interacting with us here live on our show. We're live on YouTube. We're live on Facebook. So Seahawks, Eagles, who you got?
The Seahawks are the better team. They are the favorites. They should absolutely win this game. They've been a better team. They've already beat the Eagles once this year. But I know playoff football, and this happens all the time. Seattle fans have an example as well. When they upset the Saints, I believe it was, with that awesome Marshawn Lynch run.
Beast mode. That's where whole
the
mind
home
started.
team that is the underdog right now, that really arguably isn't a true playoff caliber team, they always seem to find a way to win the game. Give me Philadelphia. I got the Eagles in this one.
Tom's going with the Eagles. I'm going to stick with the Seahawks there. I would say we could shake on it, but you don't want to touch my hand. So let's go to Ely Ben. Where does Shermer go since he's been dismissed?
I am very curious to see where he ends up.
I think you should go back to being an OC.
You know, here's an idea. What if Eric Bieniemy gets hired by somebody? Let's just say Carolina or whatever job. What if Pat Shermer goes back to work for Andy Reid as an OC, kind of just get his feet back under him a little bit? Doesn't have to call the plays. Now maybe alternatively, if you hire a young defensive mind by an NFL team and you want an offensive coordinator with some experience in the role, sure makes some sense there. But I would watch out for Kansas City here reuniting with Andy Reid.
Ely Ben, it's a good question. We already put out a video on Pat Shermer candidates. And if you guys love NFL news, rumors, live watch parties, Tom and I were live yesterday for Seahawks and 49ers. Here at Chat Sports, we'd like to interact with all of our viewers. So people like Kevin, whatever, Clever, Dublin Sucks, Mike, Mr. Positive Vibes. I'd get a lot of positive vibes if you were to subscribe. YouTube.com/ChatSportsTV. Click that big red button, turn on those notifications. We're trying to get to 150K subscribers. The only way we can do that is by spreading the show. So if you are a subscriber, type sub. If you're not, click subscribe. Click the subscribe button and then type sub. We would appreciate it. Let's go to Bradley Goodell.
Rogers kid.
No, I hope not.
Kidding.
Why is LaFleur not getting Coach of the Year
Well,
push?
I can sum it up in a little cheating way. They lost 37-8 to the San Francisco 49ers. Like, LaFleur's done a fantastic job this year, but the Niners have improved beyond what I think their expectations were entering the year.
Thanks, Mike, for the sub.
Niners are the number 1 seed. They won the head-to-head matchup. So LaFleur's been great, but wouldn't you give it to Al Shanahan?
Yeah, it's got to be
I
Shanahan.
think that's the route.
I mean, Brandonthebuck,
that
who
you
is
go.
a subscriber, he's a 49ers fan. I mean, I think it's got to be Kyle Shanahan. I mean, everything that he's done for this team just the last few years, it's Shanahan. Let's go to Ronald Samples. What are you sampling? Probably not pictures, so get one. Is Drew Lock the future in Denver?
I don't know if he ends up being the future,
They've
but
won 4 out of their last 5.
Don't give me quarterback wins, all right? But I
said
think
they
he's-
have won 4 out of
Yeah,
their last
I know.
5.
I said no quarterback wins. That's what you were doing. But I think for Denver, you've seen enough to justify let's roll with Drew Lock for a year. And the biggest thing working in his favor, he missed a lot of time here.
Yep.
This season with that injury, he came back. He's been the wins, whatever. I don't put much stock in that, but the play has been promising enough that you roll with Drew Lock next year, and then you can make another evaluation at the end of the season. But I do think that they're going to roll with Lock. Quarterback should not be one of their needs for this particular offseason.
Let's go to Devaughn Silver. Get a picture. Who is a good fit for the Panthers with the 7th pick?
Carolina's in an interesting spot. You're kind of in quarterback range. You're kind of not in this particular draft class. The Chargers need a quarterback in front of you. The Dolphins do as well. So you're kind of on that outside there. If Herbert, Tua, and Burrow are gone, which might be the case, probably look elsewhere. You should at least consider quarterbacks. But I'm looking defense here. You've got starters who are free agents everywhere. I have my list here. Give me a second to pull it up.
I mean, the Chargers
So
have
I
picked
started my
6. They could be
teams.
looking at a quarterback. The Panthers, I know the Cardinals, they won't be looking at one. The Jags, they shouldn't be looking at one. But, I mean, you're looking at a lot of teams that could go a few different ways here. Carolina Panthers, you don't think they're just going to bring back Newton?
I think that's what they should do. And then to get back to the defensive side of the ball here, Mario Addison, Bruce Irvin are both free agents at edge rusher. That leaves Brian Burns and not a whole lot else. Gerald McCoy, Kyle Love, Vernon Butler are all free agents. You're going to get back Quan Short. We'll see if they cut Dontori Ford. They save a lot of money doing that. Defensive tackle there. Some of your top corners, James Bradbury, Ross Cockrell, they're both free agents. And Elliott wasn't all that bad either. Safety, Trey Boston's a free agent. So you got needs beyond really, I guess, linebacker in terms of the off-ball linebackers. You've got Shaq Thompson and Luke Kuechly. You got potential needs everywhere. So if I'm Carolina, I'm probably going to take the best defensive player on the board, be it a corner, safety, or a defensive lineman.
Okay.
Unless there's a quarterback on the board.
Well, Panthers, they got pick 7. We're going to bump it up a little bit. Who should be the number 1 overall
Joe Burrow.
pick? The 2020 NFL
We did it.
draft. If you think it's Joe Burrow, just start spamming Burrow. If you think it should be Chase Young, I mean, I know there's a lot of people out there that do still think it should be Chase Young.
Chase Young is probably the better, not by much as much anymore, but the better player. But you go quarterback. Like
Mike says Joe Burrow.
you go with Burrow. If it is close, like if you've got a top 10, top 15 grade on the quarterback, you take the quarterback. Like you need that if you're the Bengals. You take Joe Burrow. It's a no-brainer.
Yeah, Burrows. Somebody did say Tua. I don't know. I'm gonna stick with Joe
Not
Burrow.
with the injury and Burrow surpassed him.
Let's go to Miguel Garcia. Who should the Buccaneers go after in the draft? I say draft Tua and let him sit out for a year so he can learn the offense. I mean, you should let him learn behind Jameis Winston. Am I right?
Well,
30 touchdowns, 30 picks.
The Bucs are in a weird spot because I don't think Bruce Arians wants to draft a quarterback early.
I don't think he does either. He's said that multiple times.
And I think you're going to franchise tag Jameis Winston. Also, here's your problem if you're a team like the Bucs or other teams of, hey, we're going to take a quarterback and then sit him for a year behind our young guy. Winston's not going to like that. You think Jameis Winston's going to be happy that the team franchise tagged him, which I think is what ends up happening, by the way, and then they drafted a quarterback? I don't like that. So I don't think that's the route the Bucs go. You need offensive line help. There will be some tackles on the board for you with where you're drafting. I think that's the route they end up going. Although I was trying to consider quarterback because it's not Winston. He's not good.
All right, we got a deal for you. Pay attention. I got your attention? I hope so. Let's go to chatsports.com/bet. You can see it down below. It says play now. If you want to go bet on NFL playoff games, NBA, down where it says play now, you got to go to chatsports.com/bet. We can get a link for you there in the chat. Use that promo code NFL120 for 120% deposit bonus. So what that means is if you put down $500, you're going to be a big baller. You get $600 for free. If you just want to ease into it a little bit, you can put down $50, get another $60 for free. BetDSI is the internet's #1 sports book, and if you're a sports fan, you better get started with BetDSI. Let's go to a Triple X who's been watching us for basically this entire time.
I got some great Dak questions.
Shout out to Triple X.
About to rage against too.
Will the Cowboys lose Byron Jones to free agency?
I think a lot of it depends on what happens with Dak and Amari Cooper. If they can get one of those jobs or one of those guys locked up, with a long-term deal, that would open up, in theory, a second tag, because in a unique quirk in this year's offseason, because it is the last year of the CBA, it is the final league year, which means you can use both the franchise tag and the transition tag. So if you can work out a deal with Dak Prescott, you could franchise tag Amari Cooper and transition tag Byron Jones. That could be an option. But if Byron hits the open market, I think he's going to end up being too expensive, frankly.
Okay. Let's go to William Nix. Hashtag NFL. Remember to continue to use hashtag NFL to get your questions live on our show. Any chance Ed Orgeron gets an NFL interview? I kind of sound like Coach O right now.
Yeah, a little bit gravelly there, Mitch. No, I don't think so, for a variety of reasons. The biggest one being Coach O is LSU. Like, there are some coaches, they just fit at a particular spot.
Yep.
That is Coach O with LSU. I don't think he has any interest in leaving, and frankly, I think NFL teams might have more interest in trying to lure Joe Brady as an OC than hiring Ed Orgeron.
Let's go to Patrick Starr, GG Ferret 59. What is the future of the Steelers? Let's start first with their quarterback, Ben Roethlisberger, because I think that's where this question starts.
I think he comes back, and then you're in the position there of, we have our guy for now. You're light on draft capital.
Yep.
You're banking on Amari Cooper getting healthy and being in position, or Big Ben, being healthy and getting Juju back on track, your ground game back on track there. I think that's where it starts. I think they're going to be a playoff contender again next year, and I don't think it happens this year because you only have one pick in the first 3 rounds. Round 2, no first, no third, because you traded up for Devin Bush and traded for Patrick, which worked out pretty damn well for you. Yep. Pretty good this year. But you got to look long term. You don't have a franchise quarterback on your roster after Big Ben. It's not Duck Hodges. It's not Mason Rudolph. That has been made very, very clear.
Continue to use hashtag NFL to get your questions featured live on Chat Sports. This is NFL Daily.